What's going on, guys? It's Clayton or Magnus. Welcome or welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on a little project that I've been wanting to do literally since I got into the hobby, which is to make a little scale garage, scale backdrop, whatever you want to call it. Basically just somewhere from my workspace whenever I'm working on my rigs. It just kind of looks more presentable than what I'm currently working with. Let me show you what I got going on and we'll get started. This is the current setup on my workbench. Nothing pretty, just more practical. Got my airbrush stuff over here, bunch of supplies, parts, paints, tools, whatever I need. I got my computer. I do a lot of CAD work, for 3D printing and stuff. But right here is where I do the majority of my wrenching. And I literally just want to do some type of scale garage floor and then just a backdrop, and then I'll add a bunch of accessories and stuff, printing 99% of the things. Starting with the materials I'll be using for the floor, I got some stick-on vinyl from Dollar Tree. Super cheap. Unfortunately, they didn't have like a good backdrop, back wall for the garage. So I decided to make a trip to my local Hobby Lobby to get some supplies. Starting off, I got some of this foam board, or foam matting, whatever you want to call it. It's just a kind of a big roll of it. The reason why I got it is I'm able to score it so I can add texture to the back wall. I don't want the wall to be in perfect shape, so I'll be able to make some textures. Then I got a couple different size of these little square balsa wood. I might use it for trim, I'm not entirely sure yet. And then this extra piece of that mat, what I'm thinking about doing is making kind of like a half wall, in 24 scale, half wall going up to where it just kind of adds some depth to the back wall. And then I'm going to paint it in this off-white. This is just some Krylon satin ivory. I don't know how well this is going to respond. The paint's going to respond to a material that's flexible. I don't want it to crack. Alright, so that's the plan. Let's go ahead and get the concrete floor stick-on vinyl thrown on, and then we'll start working on the backdrop. Alright, garage floor all done. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than what we were working with. Let's go ahead and start on the back wall here. Alright guys, I wanted to chime in real quick and show you what I've got so far. It's currently just cutting around the trim on the window here. And then I got these cut the size for the little half wall I'm going to be doing. And like I was mentioning earlier, the cool thing about this material is I can add texture to it. So what I'm going to do on the half wall is I 3D printed this little brick roller to where I'll just roll it on and it'll add a texture to it. Let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. Alright, so taking this roller here, I'm going to line it up. And then I'm going to press pretty hard. I'm doing the reverse side of that, just so I don't do the front. I'm just kind of giving you guys an example. Sorry, that's my 3D printer finishing up something. So yeah, I'm going to press real firm, and then I'm going to slowly roll while applying a decent amount of pressure. And then, as you can see, it adds like a brick texture, so whenever I paint this, you'll be able to see this. So yeah, let me go ahead and get this all the way done, and I'm going to go ahead and glue it to the backdrop here, and then we'll get everything painted. Alright guys, Got everything glued up here. As you can see, some nice little brick texture along the way. Before I go ahead and paint this, I do want to say that I'll be throwing on these two pieces as like trim. Next up, let's get her painted. So here's the backdrop, painted in white. You know, I was going to paint the little half wall in an actual brick color, but I think I like the look of the white. Especially when I was taking some pictures of some of my rigs for Instagram. I think just the full white background really puts an emphasis on the things that are in front of the wall, you know, i.e. my rigs that I'll be taking pictures of. So I think I'm going to rock with it. So I like the little concrete floor backdrop. Now, time for my favorite part of the project, all the 3D printed items that I'll be throwing down here and on the wall. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know about this kit that I've been selling. I'm calling this the Scale Garage Kit 1. It's just some of the essentials that I think every scale garage needs. You know, like a little 2-post lift, garage door. I got a little scale welder here with a gas cylinder. Got to have a shop fridge. Workbench with a workbench back. 2 tire racks. I threw in a couple extra little things. You can use them for your rigs or just have them, you know, setting up against your garage wall. Cooler. This is probably one of my favorite little things. It's a little 6-pack Coca-Cola or brew, whatever suits you. You know, they all come out. I think that's just like a fun little thing, a little toolbox, you know, an oil catch for whenever you're working on your rig. Little gas tanks, fuel drum. Let's get all these painted. We'll show you what it looks like set up. Alright guys, got the items painted up that I wanted to use. I didn't use all of the items in my Scale Garage pack. You know, I don't have that much space, but that's the cool thing is, you know, I feel like I made it a pretty fair price to where you don't even have to use everything, or, you know, you can change your scenery around after a bit if you get bored of this. But yeah, I went with my 2-post lift, sorry about that, and my little shop fridge. Added some little, let's see if it'll focus here, some little stickers, little pin-up calendar. It's hard to see, obviously. I love how this welder turned out. I went ahead and just glued this to it. You don't have to glue yours. My workbench, oil drum, and a tire rack. I do want to add some more items. I feel like, you know, what it's missing is just like, you know, whenever you step into most garages, it's kind of a cluttered mess. And I think that helps with the realism. So let me show you some of the things that I'll be throwing in also. Alright, this is some of the stuff that I came up with. A lot of this stuff I got off of AliExpress. The scale is not perfect. I did a lot of 1/18 scale dollhouse stuff. But I mean, I feel like it's close enough just for being in the background. This is just like a bag of miscellaneous food items. You know, like little soda bottles, cupcakes. I mean, just totally random things. I got some boxes off of AliExpress. Come with a sticker and little packing tape. I put one together just to see what it's like. It's pretty cool. Obviously, I'll just have like random wheels and tires scattered throughout. Just, you know, kind of make it look a little more messy. These little cups. And just like a little water jug. I thought that was pretty cool. I have like these little books. You know, I might throw one on like my workbench and what have you. Got a little mountain bike. It looks more like a BMX bike. And then for the back wall, I'm going to have my logo kind of just in the middle. I think that'd be cool with, you know, some scale banners. I got a little forklift. It's a little small, but I think it's cool. You know, this thing adjusts and stuff. But it's just something cool to have in the background. 2 of these motorcycles, kind of like a crotch rocket. And then more of like a, I guess they'd call it like an enduro bike. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, I'm sure I'll come up with a bunch of other things. And just over time, you know, I'll just add more stuff to it. But let's get these all in their spots. Throw our rigs. See what it looks like. Alright. I think that's looking a lot more full. Those little boxes are pretty sick. I also threw some booze on top of the fridge. Obviously everything can move, but for now, I think it turned out pretty good. Much better than what I was working with. You know, over time, I'll probably add more stuff to the walls. I've been thinking about like 3D printing some type of like light fixtures and then using like tiny little LED lights just to make it, you know, have some shop lighting and whatnot. But for now, I'm happy with the way this turned out. If you guys are interested in my little scale garage kits, go ahead and comment down below and I'll reach out to you, get a hold of you some way, and I can get some shipped to you guys. And if there's anything else you would want printed, like for instance, this is a little Miata body I've been working on. I always try to print bodies that not many people have. Exile Lewis does have a much cooler version of this Miata though. This is just like a very basic model. My little Chevy S10 printed. I print a lot of different bodies and stuff, and I'm working on a bunch of different bodies. So stay tuned for all that stuff. But anyways, guys, I hope you like this video. Pretty simple. Little scale garage. But I think it turned out pretty good. I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace.